Hey guys, new video time. First of all, Merry Christmas to everyone. Hopefully everybody's having a great holiday season. Today I'm so excited about this next topic. It's probably one of the hardest things that I had an issue with, I guess you would say, when building this car, was deciding on how to wire up all the speakers, what components you need for the DVD players, all the way to inside speakers, to outside speakers, to amplifiers, to all of your sources, to the destinations, I mean, there's so much stuff to think about when it comes to wiring it up. And pretty much the most important thing is once your car is gutted, because you'll need to gut the whole interior pretty much to wire everything up correctly, you don't want to forget anything. So I probably went 6 months just back and forth, like, do I use this, do I not use this? Well, maybe one day down the road I'll want to do this. So when everything was out and after I laid the Dynamat, I wanted to make sure that every wire that I could possibly ever need or want, redundancy, was all included, so I would never have to rip out the interior again, because that's something you do not, I repeat, you do not want to have to take your dash and everything out because you just forgot a certain wire, or you upgraded to something and you're like, okay, man, now I have to pull out all the carpet just to pull another wire. So today I'm going to be speaking on that, and I'm going to be actually drawing out a diagram on how I did everything. Like I said before, man, this is this is by far the hardest thing I had an issue with, mostly because I didn't want to forget something. So here we go. Alright, we're going to be running through this stuff really fast. Like I said before, if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me or make a comment. So this is how I laid out my car. I found that this was the best way to cover all the bases down the road. So starting with what I have in the car, I have a turbine. I have 2 DVD players, but I only care about audio out of one of them. So I have a DVD player. Then right here, I have my ZA electronics, which make their own sound. And then I have a CD player, or my head unit. So with the turbine, there's only one audio output. So I'm just going to put, that's going to be my output for there. DVD player, I have a left and right. So left, right. ZA electronics only has one output, which is a mono feed, so I have one there. And then my CD player has left and right. So these are all the sources that make sounds in my car. So we have 4 of them. So what I did is I wanted to make sure that all these sources can be heard inside and outside the car. A lot of people with the ZA electronics will just connect one speaker for the ZA electronics. That's fine. But I thought it was really neat to be able to play any sound from my ZA electronics outside the car too if I wanted to. So what I went ahead and did is I bought 2 mixers, 2 audio mixers. Pretty much any mixer will work. At least in my case, I needed a 4-channel mixer, so I found a 4-channel mixer. The hardest thing that you'll have to come up with is finding a mixer that's 12 volts, because our cars are 12 volts. You can get other mixers, but then you have to convert the voltage, and that's a mess. They make 12 volt mixers, so that's what you're going to want to go ahead and do. So for my turbine, I have the audio out, which I put a Y connector, which makes that mono go to 2 monos, basically. My DVD player, so on my left side I did a Y cable, on my right side I did another Y cable. My ZA electronics, there's only one output, so I put a Y cable there. And then my CD player actually has 4 outputs, 2 left and 2 right, to go to the rears and the front of the car, so I didn't need to do any Y outputs there. So here's my mixer. I have 2 of them. And like I said, they're 4-channel. So basically what I did is, for my turbine, I took one of the feeds and went into the mixer. Okay, this is going to be the outside mixer, and this is going to be the inside mixer. If you've ever seen my other video, I have my mixers underneath my passenger seat. We'll get into that in a little bit. So I went 1 feed from my turbine into the outside mixer, and I took the other one into the input of the inside mixer. Did the same thing with the DVD player. So here's my left of my DVD player. I went into the left side of the mixer, and then I took the other left and went into the left side of the mixer on my input, and then did the same thing with the right side, same thing with the right side. And then you're going to do the same thing with the ZA. You're going to take the left side, or you're going to take your mono feed, go into another channel and mixer, take the other mono feed, go into the other channel and mixer, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my CD player and then CD player. So basically these four mixers are now split into two, or these four sources are split now into two mixers. Why I like this? I think having options is awesome. So basically the option that I have now is, say if I'm driving my car, I can listen to the radio inside the car, but I can have, say, ZA electronic sounds outside the car, or vice versa. If I'm playing something from the radio, but I want the turbine, or that's actually probably a better analogy. I have the turbine playing outside the car, but I'm listening to the radio on the inside. So there's all my sources going into the two mixers. So your mixers have a left and right output, so left and right output, left and right output. So in the back of my car, I have two amplifiers. So my left side of my out mixer is going to my outside amplifier, and then this will be the inside amplifier. And then the left side of the other mixer is going, oh I'm sorry, left side is going here, let's scratch that, and the right side is going here. So sources to my out mixer to my out amp. Sources to my in mixer to my in amp. So from here, for my outside, I have two speakers, so I bridge this amp so I can get more power. That's why I went with the Rockford Fosgate speakers. So all the sources going into the mixer, mixers going into the amplifier, amplifier is going into two speakers underneath the front of my car. For the inside speakers, I have four speakers, 4-channel amp. So I'm taking my left and right, going in here. So then I have dash, dash, rear, rear. So it looks like a bunch of jumble, but it actually does work, trust me on this. So sources, split up, two mixers, going out to two amplifiers, amplifiers going to two speakers, or two speakers under the front, and then the four speakers in the back. So very important, like I said, make sure that these are 12 volt. You can find 12 volt mixers. And yeah, it's just the flexibility that having the options of doing whatever you want. So now when I'm inside the car and I want to listen to the CD player, I can reach down underneath my passenger seat, turn up the CD channel on the outside speaker, and then I can go to the outside of the car, or I can do the same thing, mix it together. So that's how I did mine. Hopefully that helps in that aspect. Another important thing to note with this, power and RCA cables do not like each other. So I've seen people where they're running all their power and they're running their RCA cables, and if they're touching each other, you're going to start having some alternator interference. So you want to keep the power from these, because you're going to need to get these powered. I have a huge battery in the back of my trunk that I'm running power to fuse boxes and everything to power up all this stuff. But if this power is touching any of these RCA cables, you're going to get some interference. So you want to make sure your power stays away from your audio signal, or you'll have some interference. So I just like the flexibility of all this stuff being run off the back battery, because basically I have an RV charger that's in the back of the car, and that RV charger charges this battery, and this battery keeps all Night Rider stuff on and running for about 7 hours if I don't have it plugged up to power. If I have it plugged up to power, it'll run all day long. Now, of course, I do have an alternator. I bought like a 300 amp alternator underneath, or for the under the hood of the car. So the alternator, I went into a box, which is basically splits out the signal to charge my main battery, and then it will go back to my back battery, so the one alternator can keep both batteries charged if you're driving your car around. So one important thing to note too, if you have ZA electronics, you'll notice you have your voice box, which I know this is getting a bunch of stuff on here. So you have like your voice box that makes the kit sound. So basically what I did is all the video files which basically, let's rewind, I only cared if Kit talked when I had my show DVD playing. So basically what I did was I found some scenes from Knight Rider where Devin's talking to Kit, but I only wanted when Kit was talking to light up the voice box.
Michael was right, Devin. It's a trap. Not yet, but these plans of his make me nervous. And they have Tony as well.
So basically what I had to do, and I forgot to say this before, so out of my left channel, I split it to go to the voice box to create the talking aspect. So in my video software or editing software, I pan everything right when Kit's talking, then I went left and right so that only the left channel would trigger Kit's voice. That's how you can see Devin talking and the voice box is dark, and then when Kit responds to Devin, his voice box goes off. So I know this can be a little bit confusing. I'm just going to put this video out there. If it makes sense, that's awesome. If not, maybe I can dig more into it and help you guys out, but hopefully that helps.